Hi, class. This is my cat Hamish. We're out on the porch again. Hamish will not be the code word for today. You see, he has lots of bells because he likes to kill things, so we also call him Mr. Jingles. Anyhow, that's enough about my life for today. I want to talk to you about the story Feathers that you will be reading or have just recently read. And I want to talk about it in kind of two ways that I think will help you with your first kind of writing assignment, and eventually with your papers as well. On the first level, we can think about what I'm calling gender dynamics in the story, the relationships between men and women, how they sometimes seem to conform to certain gender stereotypes. Um, you know, think about the narrator and Fran and uh, his sort of turns her hair into this kind of fetish that, like, it's the thing that he falls in love with. Oh, I think I just gave you one of the quiz questions. I'm really nice that way. Um, uh, and yet she seems to kind of resist being that sort of traditional kind of housewife. She actually works. Um, and When they go to Bud and Ola's, you see a very conventional, very traditional couple in a way. They sort of play to their gender stereotypes a little bit more, but in an interesting way, they seem a lot happier. And I think that kind of you can think about that in terms of the class dynamics of the story, um, and where Jack and Fran's eventual kind of misery might stem from. Um, and so the idea I want to introduce in that here is course class consciousness, and class consciousness is actually your keyword for today as well. It's going to be on the quiz. It is constantly measuring yourself by certain kinds of social and economic standards. Where do you stand next to, say, the idea of keeping up with the Joneses? Do they have more stuff? Do you need more stuff? Are you working class but trying to get into the middle class at least, or are you middle class trying to get into the upper class? And then that creates a lot of class tension, class struggle, even in a way. And I want you to think about Jack and Fran in the way that they're actually working class, right? Bud and the narrator, he's a quiz question name, so have the exact same job. They work like at a mill. Uh, um, Fran, I can't remember if this is a quiz question or not, but I'll tell you the answer anyhow. She works in a in a dairy, right, a creamery. So they do, by the hour working class jobs, and yet Jack and Fran think of themselves as so much more above Bud and Ola. Bud and Ola just don't care about that stuff, right? They don't think about themselves in terms of social status or where they stand next to other people. They're just kind of happy being in their own sort of own world together. And the peacock's kind of an interesting symbol of that, right? Usually you'd think of, oh, I want a peacock. I want everyone to know I have the status of this beautiful, majestic, prideful bird. And for them, it's just this cool thing that they have. They don't want other people to see it. They don't need to show it off. Um, and so I think that if you kind of think about where the story kind of takes us and the whole arc of it, keep those kind of those tensions about gender roles, and the gender dynamics and the struggles there, and keep those held up against and sort of next to the kind of class consciousness we see on display. Fran is obviously a snob, and they value things more than they might people. So that's also going to be your topic for your first writing assignment. You're going to choose a passage from Feathers that speaks to one of those two, gender or class that you think is really cool and interesting. That if you were going to write a paper on this story, you might include in your paper. And you're going to introduce the quotation, then you're going to cite the quotation, and then you're going to write 4 separate things about the quotation and come to a final conclusion. And I'm going to model that for you in the assignment I'm just about to post now. So sorry this went on a little longer than I wanted to, but yeah, uh, enjoy a lovely day. This is the view from my front porch. There's Hamish over there. Um, uh, and yeah, I will talk to you guys very soon.